Greetings, whiskey folk, and welcome to the official unbottling of, well, two whiskies today.
Absolutely.
We've got the Bearface Wilderness Series 01.
As well as the West Cork Glengarriff Series Peat Charred Cask.
Yeah, a couple of different series. And the reason we're doing two is we're actually going to be doing an A and a B this time in the Dram Association drop-in drams.
I love the A and B tastings.
80A and 80B, which means that you get to try two whiskies for that same $5 price. So we do that sometimes when we think it's a particularly interesting pair of whiskies that should be tasted together. And I think this is a beautiful pair.
Yeah.
So Brett actually started this. He chose the West Cork. I asked him which whiskey he wanted to have while I was away.
I kind of felt like something a little Irish, you know?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
We didn't really do anything for St. Patrick's Day this year,
Yeah.
so we feel like we're catching up a little bit.
I felt that this would be a good, interesting thing to try, and I think that a lot of our viewers and our Dram Association customers would kind of want to see what this one's all about.
Yeah.
And more importantly, I want to see what this one's all about.
I think a couple of staff members do actually as well, so it'd be good to get them to try it. Peat Charred Cask. I haven't tried this one either. I haven't tried either of these two. I'm really looking forward to it. Peat Charred Cask. Wild and interesting idea. And this one's even wilder. We'll get into that in a second. But which one's A and which one's B? Well, I mean, I think it only makes sense that Adam gets the A and Brett gets the B, right?
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. Although my middle name is still Adam, so...
my last name's Bradshaw, so...
Yikes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I think this one should be A anyway, because it's not smoky.
Yeah, no, this is the peat.
It's everything else apparently, but it's not smoky.
No, that's fine. This is absolutely a good B whiskey for me.
Nice. All right, so the official unbottling of the Bearface Wilderness Series 01, the Matsutake limited release. No, it's not Japanese. Elementally aged. This is the most bizarre whiskey I have ever come across. And that's weird, but this is weirder, I think.
I love this. This is very, very interesting.
Like, and I actually don't fully understand it. I've read all of the material that they have on it, and I still have questions. But let's see what we're dealing with.
Good pop.
Not bad. I like how the fact that it says Bearface on the cork. Can you see that?
Excellent.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
I'm pretty sure they have that on the 111 series as well.
Oh, probably. Which I'm taking to Scotland with me, actually.
Oh, excellent.
Because my friend Hannah, one of my oldest childhood friends, I sent her a message saying, "Hey, is there any Canadian spirits you'd like me to bring for you? What do you drink these days? What's your poison?" Yeah. And she said tequila.
Oh.
I'm like, well, we don't really have Canadian tequila. But the Bearface 111 series, which is a blend of Oaxacan mezcal and Canadian whiskey, that'll do. That is close enough.
1/11th mezcal is good enough.
All right, so this whiskey, this glass is officially the Bearface glass.
Okay,
perfect. I don't think we'll be able to have a hard time telling them apart, to be honest.
No, but at the very least, we'll get a system in place and try and follow it to the best of our abilities. Well, thank you, sir.
So why is this weird? Well, actually, I should tell you a little bit about Bearface first. Really cool whiskey. It came hot on the market. The first year it was released, I remember being at the Canadian Whiskey Awards that year, held in person at the Hotel Grand Pacific, just down the road.
Yeah.
I think you were running the pop-up store while I was doing it. But it won the best newcomer. Straight off the bat.
Yes, that was the first year that I was over at the Whiskey Festival.
Yeah, it was like 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
Really cool whiskey. Really great concept where they're using Hungarian oak and all kinds of things on the base product. Really cool whiskey. And then they started being truly experimental. Their experimental series where they're playing with the 1/11th rule, which is where in Canada we're weirdly allowed to add up to 1/11th of a non-whiskey to our whiskey and still call it whiskey. There's still rules about what it can be. It still has to be a high-proof spirit or a fortified wine of some kind.
I don't know.
You can't just throw in like Coca-Cola.
If I got 90.09% on any test, I would be thrilled.
Right?
So
yeah,
that much Canadian whiskey by volume, good enough for me.
Good point, Brett.
Good enough for
me. Well
made.
But this takes it to the next level. Okay, so I'm going to read the back of the bottle here. Introducing the first Bearface Wilderness series, our unique first-of-its-kind whiskey takes you deep into the Canadian wilderness.
Okay.
This release is an elementally aged blend of, number 1, hand-selected French oak red wine casks.
Okay.
Number 2, Jerez sherry pipes, which I've got more information here. on those, actually. So the red wine casks are... so it was finished for half a year in Merlot, Cab Sauv, and Virgin French Oak casks.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Then sherry pipes is weird. Pipes usually port.
Yeah.
So it feels weird. It's like a longer cask, really. It's a long cask.
Yeah. Usually it'd be a butt, but it's...
Or there's other sherry casks. They're not old butts, but yeah, pipe is not usually one of them.
No, of course. Yeah.
But yeah, this was done in Pedro Jimenez, cream sherry, and Amontillado pipes.
Whoa.
Wild, right? So, and it doesn't end there. That's possibly the most normal thing about this whiskey.
Okay.
So there is the third cask type is Matsutake mushroom cask for an umami finish.
Yeah. Sorry, a mushroom
cask. So they say here, along with foraged wild mushrooms, dried Matsutake add another dimension. Together, they are cask infused for 2 months in high-proof vintage Bearface to give us a subtle umami we seek. So I don't know whether they soaked mushrooms into high-proof Bearface and then blended that into the whiskey, as per the 1/11th rule.
Yeah.
They kind of made a mushroom tincture, I guess.
Yeah.
Which would technically then class as a high-proof spirit, which you can add to a whiskey and still call whiskey.
Okay.
Legally completely fine.
Totally.
Or they made a high-proof mushroom tincture and then emptied the barrel and then used that cask to finish the whiskey in. It's a little ambiguous as to which one that is.
Yeah, that's fair.
Could be either. Maybe the strength of the mushroom taste will tell us.
All right.
But then it gets even wilder.
Wait, what do you mean gets wild?
Even wilder. The elemental aging part of this.
Oh, right, yeah, I was confused.
Our unique
about that.
process where hand-selected oak casks are matured in repurposed shipping containers and exposed to the elements in the Canadian wilderness. Our extreme northern climate amplifies how the whiskey and wood interact, transforming the liquid inside for a bolder, smoother flavour. They literally...
They
fill a shipping container full of casks and drop it off in the middle of a forest.
Wow.
Which is why they had the mushrooms. This is something else I learned on the side, is that they actually asked like foraging experts to find things in the forest that they could infuse into the whiskey that would work with it, expecting they'd find like botanicals. And instead they come back with these Matsutake mushrooms, and they're like,
I mean, to be fair, I'm glad they were talking to experts about the
mushrooms
I know, that they wanted to add to the whiskey.
Yeah.
Wow.
So here's to the weirdest whiskey. And like I would say this is weirder than Fishki.
Yeah,
which we were talking about in the Outturn video recently. I think this is weirder than Fishki. I think this is potentially weirder than Floki, which is the sheep dung smoked
Right, the
one.
sheep dung one, yeah.
This is outright madness, and let's see what it's like.
Let's get into it. Cheers. Huh. That's very pleasant on the nose.
Yeah, I know,
It's
right?
not-
I was like, it smells like a good rye.
There is no weird umami. There's no...
They might be onto something here.
There's no steel-sided shipping container. It's just...
It smells slightly rusty. It doesn't.
That's okay.
Why did it taste like shredded wheat?
I don't know, but that's exactly what I was thinking. It was
like shreddies, like shredded wheat cereal.
Yeah, it's the not enough milk shreddies.
Yeah,
it's
slightly dry. There's not that much sugar on it either. It's like they use like agave syrup or like raw honey or something, but not that much of it. It's really umami forward.
Yeah.
Huh.
It just sticks with you.
Wow. I was weirdly expecting this to be like, funky, like in the Springbank way.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's just
Adam,
pleasantly
this is
bready.
Downright delicious.
It really is.
And it scares me.
I don't know why. Oh, yeah.
What if this starts a trend of doing
scared.
weird whiskeys like this that I'm going to love, by the way?
Oh, I hope so. I mean, it is series number 1.
Oh my God.
Right? What are they going to do next? I know what they should do next. I think they should do the same thing, but with fiddleheads.
Oh.
Right?
Interesting.
That is my suggestion. You can have that for free, Bearface.
Okay.
Fiddlehead whiskey. That should be next.
Yep. And you can keep the shipping containers in my driveway. I will need the lock.
I'm not sure Saanich counts as wilderness.
It's close.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I think James Bay would be better.
No. Okay, yeah. This is wild. Not just in description.
It's
but,
wild, literally,
yeah,
but also figuratively.
Yeah.
I like this. It tastes nutty, bready, clovey. It feels like a really rustic baked good.
Mm-hmm.
It tastes slightly pretzel-esque, actually. It's got, the weird lye or whatever they use in pretzels with the glaze.
Oh yeah. Yeah. The thing that I think is most interesting to me on this is that you don't get that kind of rye spiciness because the umami kind of tampers it down quite a lot. It's just it drinks.
Do you make curries much?
Yeah.
From scratch? You know how if you don't cook them for long enough, the rye, the spice flavors are really raw and a little. But if you cook them for long enough, they get integrate into the curry more. This feels like a regular rye whiskey feels slightly like an undercooked curry. The spice is raw and in your face. This feels like it's been simmering for 9-10 hours.
Yeah.
The lamb Rogan Josh is ready to be served.
Perfect. That is a strange analogy fit for this strange whiskey.
Right. Yeah.
It's perfect. Wow, I'm so glad we got to try this.
This is my name for this whiskey. Feel free to veto it.
Yeah.
Rogan Josh of the Jungle. Bit too weird.
Watch out for that tree. I like it.
Josh of the Jungle.
Okay.
From the wilds of the Canadian rainforests to the bogs of Ireland.
I mean, let's go.
Yeah.
Adam, tell me about peat charring.
It's, to the best of my knowledge, never been done before, this whiskey.
Great. So I'm not just confused from the outset.
Right.
This is perfect.
Charring casks usually happens with a flamethrower. I assume with natural gas, usually, I think.
I'd assume so.
Or maybe propane.
Yeah, I've seen some strange flamethrower-esque things that they've used in a lot of videos for casks and charring and such like that.
But this cask was charred using peat, which it feels like you can't, surely peat doesn't really get hot enough. I feel like peat charred might be a more poetic way of saying it. It's probably more peat toasted, really.
Probably. And I mean, the fun thing with peat is it smolders instead of burns too. So maybe it was just I don't know. I'm excited to try.
I'm very excited, especially as it was in sherry cask before, right?
Yes.
Much like this one.
There we go. Poor topper. That's okay. All right.
All right. ADB.
I will give you this one, and I will take this one. And we are on to Whiskey B.
Dram 80B. Sounds like ATV, weirdly.
Yeah. So, West Cork.
Whoa.
Traditional Irish whiskey.
This smells...
Until they do stuff that's weird.
Like I was expecting this to smell. Funky.
Yeah.
Huh.
This one does have a nice... It's an overly green nose. It's just...
It smells like fiddleheads.
Oh, God. Huh. Okay.
Who'd have thunk it?
Okay. I guess so. This was matured in sherry casks and then transferred for 4 to 6 months into the Peat Charred cask. So it wasn't in that cask long. But
so for the longest time, it bugged me, and I didn't really understand it when people would say, this whiskey is particularly smoky, but not very peaty, or very peaty, but not very smoky. It's like, well, the smoke comes from the peat. Like, I found it really hard to distinguish between the two of them. But now having one that is completely not smoky, but incredibly peaty,
Yeah.
I feel like I need to mentally send 1,000 apologies to people who I silently judged in the past for that saying those things. Because, yeah, no, I get it. This is peaty.
Yeah. This
Not
is
smoky.
This is very peaty.
Really not smoky. We got an incredibly strange pair of umami forward whiskies here.
We did it.
Yeah. By God, we did it.
Oh my goodness.
That's wild.
Okay. Well, you know what? This one, well, it might not have the strange upbringing that this whiskey had. I'm a big fan of the cleanliness of this one. I think it's, other than that strange kind of like peat forward palate, it's got all the hallmarks of a really well produced Irish whiskey.
So I'm gonna say something that sounds like it doesn't make any sense, but hopefully you can make some sense of it in your head.
Nothing you say makes any sense to me.
It's the accent, I know.
Yeah,
but it tastes like a clean dirt. Like it's dirty, but it's clean.
Okay.
Like it's like clay, maybe. You know how like when sometimes the soil isn't like all fermenty and disgusting and weird, but it's still dirt.
I've eaten my fair share of dirt.
Yeah.
I mean, not recently, but I can understand that a little bit.
You played rugby then?
Lacrosse.
Oh, look, I'll do it.
And a bit of field hockey and regular hockey. Yeah.
Nice. I've never played field hockey on an actual field. I used to be on the field hockey team, but in the UK it's always played on AstroTurf because the fields are too wet.
Yep. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
You can't play field hockey on a field in the UK. It just doesn't. You hit the ball and it just kind of lands when you hit it. It doesn't roll.
It doesn't. It doesn't roll.
It
or
just
bounce.
plop. The ball's too heavy for the fields in the UK.
No. It's the thing that I think gets me for this whiskey. It's strangely sweet. It's a saccharine quality to it that I think is like a honeysuckle kind of roundness to it. Which is,
it's like it's tree sappy syrupy, but not like maple or birch. Like I'm trying to think of like a lighter tree. Like if a lilac tree had sap, it would taste like this.
Yeah. This is lovely. By the way, this is a 43% ABV. Like
I was just checking as well. This is 42.5, so really similar ABVs. It's a really cool comparison, actually.
This is going to turn a lot of heads if you happen to live in the Victoria area and are a member of the Dram Association and want to come down and try these. It's $5.
$5
to try both.
Yeah,
it's wild. If you're a premium member of the Dram Association, these tastings are included as part of your membership, so you can just come on down. We check your name off the list,
come
and
on.
You are set. I'm impressed at the ingenuity that we didn't know we had, Adam.
Right? Canadians and Irish are pushing the boundaries of what a whiskey can be, or what a cask can be, and it's wild. Also worth mentioning, like the West Cork is actually a single malt as well. We didn't really talk much about the actual ingredients.
That's true.
So this is mostly corn and rye based, I believe. Possibly with a bit of wheat. I'm not entirely sure what the makeup of the Bearface is. They're kind of tight-lipped on that bit. But yeah, West Cork is 100% malted barley. Triple distilled.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very interesting. Let's say anything. Oh, okay. So they apparently harvested the peat from Glengarriff's actual traditional like peat spot, and then using traditional bellowing techniques to char virgin oak casks to do it.
Bellowing, you say?
Yes. You know, get the good old like compression and the fire start. Yeah. Wild. Very cool.
I like the sound effects I did
there. A unique pair of drams.
Indeed. And not only can you come and get these in-store, sample them for $5, but even if you can't make it to come and try them, you can take advantage of the 10% discount that they're on for all Dram Association members. Sign up for free, get 10% off instantly on both of these bottles and everything that we've got featured right now, which we'll actually include the things that we featured at the Highland Games too right now.
Oh,
So that's a fun lineup of whiskies. So check those out. You can check out all of the information on everything that is currently featured, and check out old reviews and everything to do with the Dram Association at dramassociation.com.
Wow, you really nailed that branding.
Thank you.
Yeah, good on you.
Or strathliquor.com/Dram Association, which is where dramassociation.com now forwards to. Keep it all in one place.
Yeah, it's fine.
But yeah, this has been cool.
This has been great.
We'll see you next time. Let's cheers the bottles and try not to break them.
Enjoy Exploration Series number 80, A and B.
A and B from Adam and Brett.